Hello walkers, and welcome back to Montana. Today we are going to walk the Woodbine Trail. Pardon me while I try and get this backpack linked back up, clicked in. Oops. No, that's just not going to happen. Excuse me. This is a great little trail. It's not that, there are some steep bits, but it's not that long. We're going to walk into the campground, which is closed this time of year. And this time of year is January, mid-January, and usually there'd be a ton of snow in here. Not this year. It's really dry, really warm. So let's hope for snow. On the other hand, it makes it really easy to walk back in here, and it's a beautiful walk in the summer as well. Great place to camp. If you don't want to camp, you can get a hotel room in nearby Starkey or Columbus. I've done a walk in Columbus, if you want to look that up, and pardon the wind. And I'm planning on doing one in Absaroka possibly later today. So keep an eye out for those. There's restaurants there as well. Highly recommend you bring some snacks, picnic lunch, that sort of thing. And like that, I can't remember the distance of this trail. My wife and two boys and I hiked it for a traveling mail project back in, I'm going to say December, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, check that channel out for more info about Red Lodge and Yellowstone Country. And yeah, I think that's right. There are all these tourist districts in tourism regions in Montana that take responsibility for promoting tourism to Montana, Visit Montana being the parent of them all. Pardon me. However, that is probably not really of that much interest to you. So I'm going to tell you that it is about 120. It's about probably 35 degrees Fahrenheit, I think is what I saw. And that is going to be 2 or 3 degrees Celsius. And yeah, really, really windy. I just hiked 3.5 miles up to Sioux Charlie on the Stillwater River Trail. And we are about to cross the Stillwater River right now. Ice choked and lined, but absolutely beautiful. It was a great hike. Highly recommend that hike. Check out the videos. I filmed one there and I filmed one back. And they're longer for my videos, but you could break them up or just watch them all the way through. I think they're about 1:15 each. And just some stunning views. But we're going to see some stunning views here. Give me a like, thumbs up, all that fun stuff, but also leave a comment. I do love hearing your comments. I love hearing your feedback. One of the pieces of feedback I heard recently was to hold, when I show you guys views, to hold them a little longer, so I've been trying to do that. Another is to slow my pans down when I pan left to right, to slow that down. I have been trying to do that, but I will try to do a little better. See some ice floating down the river there. Beautiful river, beautiful valley, south of Columbus and Red Lodge. Not south of Red Lodge, sorry. West of Red Lodge, south of Columbus and Absaroka. And right at not very far away from here, a mile or so, is the Stillwater mine, which is it's a palladium mine, I believe. And they've won a lot of accolades for being very responsible miners, and in terms of environmental footprint, in terms of working together with the local communities. So I applaud them for that. I got not in trouble, but I got called out recently in one of my anaconda walks for saying I didn't trust mining companies, and I kind of stand by that. We have to mine, and it's a modern society, but I definitely advocate for strong regulation of mining companies. Because once things are destroyed, they're destroyed forever. So, but Stillwater's done a great job, so it shows that it can be done. Anyway, that's my little pulpit moment for the day. Although I do like to talk about how awesome public lands are. If this was privatized, if this was sold off, chances are I would not be able to be walking here with you and taking you on this little jaunt. And I forgot to tell you, my name's Henry, and I'm going to be your proxy walker, your virtual travel guide today. And it is a beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous. It's cold with that wind, but when you get out of the wind, it warms right up. And wow, these views are just spectacular. I wish this could crop out that sunlight. The camera compensates for the sunlight and darkens everything else up. But those views are spectacular. And it's just good to be out in nature, don't you think? Especially after this year when we've all been cooped up, isolated. It's good to be out and have some space and hear the wind in the trees and the birds and whatnot. If you've hiked this trail or have any questions about this trail, I hope you'll let me know in the comments section of the YouTube. We do have a Roku channel, and it's still kind of in development there. Videos are up, but it's not uploading new ones. I think the last one up there was from the end of October. And Amazon TV, same thing goes for that. So check those out if that's your thing. Coming up to the trailhead, of course, in the summer you could just drive up here and park instead of walking that last couple hundred yards. I expect that the falls will actually be frozen for the most part. So we'll get to see some ice. A note about preparations. Anytime you come out and these remote locations, especially when you're by yourself, you want to make sure you're prepared. I brought food and water. I brought bear spray. I brought lots of layers. And also told my wife, Traveling Mel, who's filmed several of these walks as well, told her where I was going and what time I expected to be back. So there is no cell coverage back in here. And then just being smart in general, being aware. Excuse me. So we are going to make our way through the trees, and then when we'll cross over, I assume it's Woodbine Creek on a little bridge, and then up and over to the falls, and then we'll come back. I was surprised earlier in my walk how different the view is and the perspective is. Adjust the microphone here. How different the view and perspective is one way versus going the other way. We seldom look behind us, and so we miss a lot of the views until we come back, of course. I hope you guys are all doing well. It's been a tough year, but 2021 has a lot of potential. So hang in there. I might have to limit my talking as we go uphill because I'm liable to be winded. Well, considering that the creek is almost completely frozen. Oh no, it's running good. Here's our bridge coming up. Somebody called, I love this. Somebody referred to me as the Bob Ross of walking videos, and he's the guy that had that painting show. I am so honored by that appellation. Slow your pans down, Henry. Slow your pans down. Look at this creek. Absolutely beautiful. Oh. I can't help but smile in this place. It's spectacular. All right, here we go. Please stay on the trail. I have to assume that coming out of the campground in the summer, this is probably a very popular trail. It's a lot of use, hence the sign. So I think I might have said this one was steep. I don't know if it's steep, it's just uphill. It's got a lot of switchbacks. It's pretty gentle. Pretty doable. I will try to put an alltrails.com link to this trail in the description, the YouTube description, if you're interested. Somebody rode a bike up here. See some tracks. The Stillwater Trail, Stillwater River Trail, goes into the Absaroka Beartooth Wilderness area. We are not in that designated space, so mountain biking, I assume, is acceptable here. Not acceptable in or legal in wilderness areas. So, I don't know if you can see that view. Probably not. Pretty awesome. All right. Here we go. Here comes the wind. Excuse me. Look at that view. Hard to complain about that, huh? I think I said the Stillwater mine was a mile. It's probably 2 or 3 actually. Feel free to fact check me on that. I mentioned that I brought bear spray, and many of you may think, oh, it's winter, bears should be hibernating. And yes, they should. However, they don't hibernate based on time of year or photo period, is my understanding. They hibernate based on, or they go into their dens based on food availability. It's been so warm that they may be out, they could be out looking for roots or grubs or something like that. So, thought, it doesn't weigh that much, I'll just bring it. So I guess I should point out we're headed kind of northeast right now. Sun's to our south, and the waterfall is off to our right, or kind of 45-degree right, and about east, if you're into that sort of thing. This far north, the sun tends to stay way south as it makes its transect, or as the world spins. The Earth. Alright, so it looks like we are going to get into the wilderness area. Hope these folks, I'm sure they turn their bikes around. Nope. That's alright. Oh, I love being in the woods. Do you guys use a fitness tracker like Fitbit? I have a Fitbit. Had it for years. I don't keep as much track as I used to, but on these big walking days, it's fun to see how many steps I've gotten. I've already gotten my 10, my 10,000. And I can't look up the amount one-handed, so I guess I'm at 12, 14. It's a sense of accomplishment. Last time I came here, it was raining and snowing, kind of a mix. It was a little brutal, but still cool. All right, I think we're almost there. Of course, I've thought that before. Excuse me. We're not almost there. That's a good pace. Oh, here we go. Nice view here. How about that? You can see top of one of those ridges, the snow blowing over the top. It's cold up there. And we're at our waterfall, so let's take a look at that. It's mostly frozen. Water's running though. It's wonderful when it's flowing. I imagine you can go off trail and get down there, but I don't care to do that. Nice. Everybody say yay for public lands. Hashtag not the secret word. I've stopped doing that actually. Not because it wasn't fun, but honestly because I kept forgetting. And I forgetting to give people shout outs. So I just stopped. Pardon me. Alright, we're going to head back. And here's a nice little stone bridge, kind of cute. We're going to go back all the way to the first bridge, at least. So we'll get some different views on the way down. When that wind stops blowing, it gets really warm with all these layers. I gotta unzip a little bit. Sorry. And then the wind comes. Anyhow. You hear that whistling? That is a tree, one of these dead trees that's fallen and is rubbing against another tree as the wind blows and moves the live tree around. which is something you should be aware of in these western forests, especially if there's beetle kill or old fire area. These trees can fall right over in the wind, and they can hurt, so be aware. On my earlier hike, I saw several people using the walking sticks, kind of like ski poles. You see that a lot in Europe, and more here in the States, and I'm a big advocate. I can't really do it while I'm filming because my hands are busy, but when I'm not filming, they're pretty nice. I find they help take a little bit of the load off my knees when just the general steadying and balance issues, so especially downhill. Kind of interested to see the video, how that turns out. It looks like it might be a little mesmerizing walking through these trees. We're back out of the wilderness area. Oh gosh, I love this view. That one too. more trees rubbing. It's currently about 2 o'clock, and I think I said I was going to try and do a walk through Starkey, which is a cute little town, but I have to get back and make dinner for the family. It's my night, and so I think that I'm not going to do that today, maybe another time, especially if you guys request it. That's another thing, give me some requests. I mean, I can't jump on a plane and go across the world, but if you've got something that you want to see, I'll add it to my list of ideas and I will try to get around to it, especially if it's in Montana or close in the region. Can't make any promises, but I'll make an honest effort. Oh, look at this. Ooh, pretty. Pretty perilous. I love the light, which the human eye, the dynamic range of the human eye is pretty amazing. And most of these cameras just can't compete. Dynamic range being the difference, the brightest bright to the darkest dark that you can kind of make out. These cameras tend to clip, meaning they just don't record that information when it gets too bright or too dark, or there's a big difference. Like right now, actually. So that sun makes the camera, well, this particular GoPro, it makes it increase the shutter speed, which limits the light, making everything darker so that it can, as compensation for the sun, but it makes all the dark things really dark. And then when the sun's not on there, and you get into this darker areas, it slows the speed back down, letting in more light. Again, correct me if you think I'm wrong about that, or if I've got my mechanics incorrect. Oh, look at that. Awesome. I heard a sound down there. It sounded like an animal might have been in the water, but it was just the water slapping up against the underside of the ice shelf. There's a little bird. Oh, what is that bird? Nuthatch, maybe? I'll have to look that up. It had kind of it's a small bird, smaller than a sparrow, russet belly, gray back, sharp beak, pointed beak, a little black stripe over the eye, the face was kind of white. Let me know. I'll try to remember to look that up, although, honestly, I probably will forget. So remind me in the comments if you're interested. Oh my gosh, guys, this is so cool. All right. Okay, everybody, I think this is where we're going to call it. The bridge is off there to the left. We've got awesome icy cataract, this waterfall. So beautiful, so pristine, so clear and clean. Leave us a comment if you would. I really do read the comments. I appreciate the comments, and I try to respond to all of them, even if I don't get to them that day. And I do love it. So thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell, all that fun stuff. Most importantly, hang in there, guys, and we will see you next time. Until then, keep on stepping.